Hello, my name is Dan Watson, and on behalf of the Huntsville Festival of the Arts and Hunters Bay Radio, I welcome you to Muskoka Music Sessions. Before we begin, we want to acknowledge that we are on the traditional territory of the Anishinaabe, and we thank the original keepers of this land. Muskoka Music Sessions was recorded live in November of 2020 at Canvas Brewery. It features some of Muskoka's finest musicians playing a mixture of original rock, folk, and country music. We're truly blessed to have so many incredible musicians living in our region. And the Huntsville Festival of the Arts and Hunters Bay Radio are committed to supporting them, as well as all of those working in the entertainment industry who have been so deeply affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. We want to thank our major sponsor, the Province of Ontario, through the Celebrate Ontario program, our host, Canvas Brewery, all the artists that participated, and to John A. MacDonald, Chris Boone, and Jacob Krieger for recording these concerts. And most importantly, thank you to you, our audience. Thank you for joining us, and we hope that you will keep supporting live music and the arts community. Enjoy the show.
Well, ladies and germs, welcome to Canvas Brewery here. I'd like to introduce my band, George Jackson on the dobro, Trisha Foster on the bass, Sean Roper on the drums. I am your host, the Mighty Lopez, and this is my band. So we're going to play some songs. You may not have heard some of them before. You might have heard some of them before. They're all mine and George's. Oh, and Richard's. Yeah, we're doing a bunch of songs tonight. Anyway. And we'd like to thank the Huntsville Festival of the Arts, and we'd like to thank Hunters Bay Radio for putting this shindig on. And, well, without any further ado, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Hey, hey, boy, you've been away too long, away too long. Hey, hey, boy, you've been away too long, way too long. You know, I got back from the city after oh so long. I went to find my buddies, but my buddies were gone. I looked up in the book and the number I checked it, but me and the party line have been disconnected. They said, hey, hey, boy, you've been away too long, way too long. Hey, hey, boy, you've been away too long, way too long. You know, I used to know everybody in this town, and now there's only strangers to be found. I used to know everybody on the street, but now it's only strangers that I meet. And they say, hey, hey, boy, you've been away too long, way too long. Oh, hey, hey, boy, you've been away too long, way too long. Well, why do I feel like such an alien? Why can't I find not a single friend? All I want is someone to talk to. While it's on my mind, honey, where were you? And I went to the pubs, but I couldn't find not one of my buds. I made all the right moves, I went to all the right places, said all the right things, saw all the wrong faces. They said, hey, hey, boy, you've You've been away too long, way too long. Hey, hey, boy, you've been away too long, way too long. Hey, hey, boy, you've been away too long, way too long. Hey, hey, boy, you've been away too long, way too long. Thank you very much. This next song is actually a Sean Cotton tune. Him and I got together for point A to point B. Dan knows all about that. It was a bunch of stories that were taken out of people in the communities had written a story that was pertinent to them, and then Sean put them all to music, and came up with this song, which I liked so much I recorded it and put it on my CD. The sad but true story of the dancing moose goes a lot like this. 2, 3, 4. Dancing moose, I just seen a dancing moose. On the road we cut loose, I swear I saw a dancing moose. I was driving to work one cool sunny morning. I was driving alone out of Gravenhurst, when my gut rumbled out a kind of warning, like things were gonna be getting worse. It's a roller coaster ride along Housy's Rapid Road. That route is a hilly zigzag drive. Then out in the distance, out from the woods, the craziest thing jumped out before my eyes. Dancing moose, I just seen a dancing moose. On the road we cut loose, I swear I saw a dancing moose. Well, I came to a quick stop and I sat up in my car while the moose sidestepped back and forth across the road. A frantic dog barked, and the moose, full of fear, he spun just like a dervish, twirling up a storm when he decided on his escape route. Like a UFO sighting, or the one that got away, that dancing moose skipped off through a hole in the woods, and you forgot your camera, was all that I could say. Dancing moose, I just seen a dancing moose. On the road we cut loose, I swear I saw a dancing moose. To work on time with a tale to tell about the moose I saw on the road cutting the rug. I think about that moose and if he's doing well. Now I never ever leave home without my camera. Dancing moose, I just seen a dancing moose. On the road we cut loose, I swear I saw a dancing moose. Dancing moose, I just seen a dancing moose. On the road we cut loose, I swear I saw a moose. I did. Thank you very much. We'll take a second and change guitars here. I kind of took all the sad songs I could think of and all the broken heart songs I could think of and put it all into one. So my intention is to rip the heart out of your chest for this one and see how it goes. It goes a lot like this. Through the blinded window, I watch the setting of the sun. At my favorite restaurant, a table for one. And I haven't seen my waitress, she thinks loneliness contagious. I just wanna pay my bill and be on my way. I've been coming to this restaurant since moving to this neighborhood. I kind of like the ambiance, and I always thought the food was good. It was here I first laid eyes on you, sitting in your corner booth. So why should I be so surprised to see you sitting there tonight? But you walked right by my table, didn't even bat an eye. Walked right by my table, you were with some other guy. I looked up as you approached, thought at least you might say hi. But you walked right by my table, and you laughed as you walked by. Did you have to rub it in my face, how quickly I have been replaced? I know I'm not the man for you, no matter how I wanted to. I see you sitting over there, you run your fingers through his hair. A lump starts rising in my throat. I get up and grab my coat, and the clamor of the dining crowd seems to get a little louder. I make my way to the till. The waitress tallies up my bill. She smiles as she takes my money. I wonder what the hell's so funny. Can't you see that my whole world is falling apart? 'Cause you walked right by my table like I wasn't even there. Like you didn't know me, like you didn't care. And you walked right by my table as you went and took your seat. I struggled for composure, and my heart fell to my feet. There's a Thai place on the corner. Across from there's a pub. There's a deli just down the block. Here they make a decent sub. But I've been coming to this restaurant since moving to this neighborhood. I kind of like the ambiance, and I always thought the food was good. Thank you. Let me slip into something more comfortable, shall I? You hush. So George and I were sitting on the dock one day on the Muskoka River there, and having a conversation about what we liked, and more importantly, what we didn't like about modern country music. And I've been watching this show that had episodes of all the different stages of country music right from the sort of the Carter family and the hillbilly roots all the way up through, Hank Williams and all, and then Nashville. The episode Nashville kicked in, and from there on out, I went, okay, this is where I turned cold. And so we had, it was like, well, it's all about hillbilly and honky tonk. Well, that's a great idea for a song, and so we wrote a song all about that, called Hillbilly and Honky Tonk, and it goes a lot like this. 2, 3, 4. Well, I always liked the rhythm, and I always liked the twang, and I always liked the way that Mother Maybelle sang. Take your dirty girls and your pretty boys from the glamour cowboy scene. Hillbilly and honky tonk, that's country music to me. Hillbilly and honky tonk, that's what I want to hear. Hillbilly and honky tonk keep ringing in my ears. The guitars and the fiddles always set my spirit free. Hillbilly and honky tonk, that's country music to me. Now Hank and Merle and Stevie Earle knew how to spin a tale, and I get so excited when I hear a banjo frail, picking and a grinning, oh, sounds so heavenly. Hillbilly and honky tonk, that's country music to me. Hillbilly and honky tonk, that's what I want to hear. Hillbilly and honky tonk keeps ringing in my ears. The guitars and the fiddles always set my spirit free. Hillbilly and honky tonk, that's country music to me. Well, when it comes to Nashville, I don't want to put anybody down, but they're pretty slick, making hits, that sweet suburban sound. But take me to a hoedown, pass a mason jar, I'll play some country music and start barking at the stars. Out. What's going on in the music world today? But now you get technology getting in the way. When I hear it crooned in auto-tune, it's no mystery. Why, hillbilly and honky tonk, that's country music to me. Well, hillbilly and honky tonk, that's what I want to hear. Hillbilly and honky tonk keeps ringing in my ears. The guitars and the fiddles always set my spirit free. Hillbilly and honky tonk, that's country music to me. Yeah, hillbilly and honky tonk, that's what I want to hear. Hillbilly and honky tonk keeps ringing in my ears. The guitars and the fiddles always set my spirit free. Hillbilly and honky tonk, that's country music to me. Yeah, hillbilly and honky tonk, that's country music to me. Thank you very much. Well, I'll tell you what this next song is all about. Actually, what this song is all about, me driving to Aurelia this morning to find a pair of Sorels for $100. Brand new. Good deal. But what's unfortunate is the reason why I will need a new pair of Sorels. That time of year is coming, folks. That time of year is hard approaching. It is truly a hard time of year. Well, I feel like I'm stuck in low gear. I find this to be such a hard time of year. Out on the outskirts of town, the road is the last one, the plows go down. And I ain't going nowhere till I shovel the lane. When it's done, I feel like I've been hit by a train. It's even worse than it appears. I'm down to my last dime, down to go do crime. It's such a hard time of year. There's a snowdrift halfway up my back door. Huh, you think it's pretty? I'll say that's what postcards are for. Underneath a blanket of snow, these long winter nights go by so slow. And there ain't nothing on the TV but the same bad news. Monday through Sunday, get the same old blues. I'm even crying slush for tears. Even the sunshine making me snowblind. It's such a hard time of year. So I went down to the river bridge with thoughts to end my life. Jumped over the edge and only busted my leg on 3 feet of solid ice. Now a suicide watch is holding me here. It's such a hard time of year. Some crazy thoughts in my head. When I see my doctor, I'll get back on my meds. Till then I'm in a hospital bed, just dreaming of warmer days ahead. But now I hear there's a snow squall storm watch in effect. Another 60 centimeters expected, and I can't even find me no beer. No fast forward, no rewind. I hear a distant plow grind. It's such a hard time of year. Thank you. This here is a song written by a good friend of mine, dear departed Richard Karstens, good friend of mine down in Toronto back in the day, one of my favorite singer-songwriters. Another rip the heart out of your chest song. It's a fine line division between what she's given, way she's afraid of making a decision. She stands explaining while I hang my head in shame. She always needed somewhere to place the blame. It was love at first sight, that can't be denied. the kind that happens about 100 times a night. She was cool as a star. Oh, what a feeling, warm as summer sun, twice as healing me. I'm just waiting for the walls to cave in. Sounds stupid, but they're doing it again. I should be standing with my finger on a trigger. Feels like I'm standing in the middle as a figure, yeah. It felt like November in the middle of the summer. She was amazed at the way my mind wandered. I wasn't given any alibis for needing or affection that I thought I was receiving. Me, I'm just waiting for the walls to cave in. Sounds stupid, but they're doing it again. I should be standing with my finger on a trigger. Feels like I'm standing in the middle as a figure of me. I'm just waiting for the walls to cave in. Sounds stupid, but they're doing it again. I should be standing with my finger on a trigger. Feels like I'm standing in the middle as a figure, yeah. Middle as a figure, yeah. Middle as a figure, yeah. Thank you. Well, this here's another Richard song. When Richard and I met, and we on conversations about our mutual affection for Jack Kerouac, and the road, what the road on the road meant to us when we were young and stupid, and. So Richard took about writing songs the same way that Jack Kerouac wrote his prose, which was staying up on days on end on large doses of amphetamines. See what kind of truth and purity would come out of that. I'm riding on Little Ben's a dream. If I could only write what I'm thinking. I want a page of pain. Everything you've done to me. When it's building up inside like constipation, and I need relief. I'm riding on Little Ben's a dream. Going overboard and crazy. I just need some speed. I want to place the blame. Everything you've done to me. Oh, there's a disapproving eye over my shoulder telling me it's just a song. I got a curious, strange disease creeping upon me secretly. Sympathy, it ain't what I need. So don't you feel sorry for me, no. Now I'm waiting for a liquor store so I can sit and drink till she brings me more. I'm riding on little Benzedrine. Oh, if I could only write what I'm thinking. I got a curious, strange disease creeping up on me secretly. Sympathy, it ain't what I need. So don't you feel sorry for me? I'm riding on little Benzedrine. I'm riding on little Benzedrine. I'm riding on a little Benzedrine. If I could only write what I'm thinking. Thank you. We're going to take a minute and switch things over here. How are we doing for time? Oh, yeah, who's to go with the watch? Well, the dude with the watch, how are we doing for time? No big deal. Oh, yeah. I've decided, after doing this, there is no graceful way to put an accordion on stage. John says you can't do it. It's one of those awkward things. You might as well dim the lights and just let me get on with it. How are we doing, George? You there? So I never voted for him. Never once, not even twice, I didn't vote for Justin. But I kind of like the Trudeau brand. I grew up on Pierre, you know? I don't mind Pierre. And, well, Justin, you know, again, I didn't vote for him, but I will always think fondly of him for having legalized one of my favorite recreational pastimes. Right? Rudy, you with me, right? Right on. All right. So I wrote a little number all about my favorite indulgences, at least those that I can sing about in public. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Well, the plaster is cracked and the paper torn. My slippers are sleepy and the room is warm. I'm looking at the window, it's 3:30. There's a big full moon shining down on me. I'm looking out on Main Street, it's as quiet as a book. And I'm trying to remember that last hit I took. Thinking to myself, I'm getting too old for this shit. I fumble through my pack, I find a cigarette. I swore when I turned 50 that I would quit. Just put that on the list of things I haven't done yet. I'm listening to James Brown singing please, please, please. And I can hear him sweat on espresso and weed. There's a woman in Aurelia and there's one in North Bay. They'd change my way of living if they had their way. Either one would take me in and help me get clean. Oh, I appreciate the offer, just not into that scene. You're looking for a lapdog, I'm not that breed. I think I'm better left to my espresso and weed. mine. I have my day with powder, spirit, wine. I like to stay up late at night. I rain and I rage and I write my crazy thoughts down on a page. I'm well aware of the madness I feed on a steady diet of espresso with weed. Thank you very much. All right, this here's a love song. Hey? Huh? What? Hey! I didn't stand a chance when you looked at me and sweetly smiled. Our eyes locked in a trance. Then you looked at me and sat out wild. I didn't stand a chance, though I was happy, single and free. I wasn't thinking about romance. Then you flashed those eyes at me. You stuck around after the show and you carried my guitar. We stopped and smoked a cigarette as we walked back to my car. I didn't stand a chance when you said you had nowhere to be, and then you held my hand. I said you'd rather stick around with me. I didn't stand a chance, and now you make my happy home. I'm steady thinking about romance, and I know I'll never be alone. You're always there after the show, and you carry my guitar. We still smoke cigarettes and we still make out in the car. I didn't stand a chance. I didn't stand a chance. I didn't stand a chance. No, you got me by surprise. I didn't stand a chance. Yeah, you got me hypnotized. I didn't stand a chance. Well, I was blind, but now I see. I didn't stand a chance. All this love that was sent for me, I didn't stand a chance. I didn't stand a chance. I didn't stand a chance. Well, you know, I've had a lot of different jobs over the years, you know, supporting my musical habit, as it were. You know, I pretty much washed dishes all the way from Halifax to Vancouver. And let's see, I worked a celery and lettuce farm in southern Quebec one summer. Did the celery and lettuce harvest for Brossard et Frères. True story. And let me see what else. Oh, I was a parking lot attendant. And I didn't realize until after my tenure there that it was right across the street from 51 Division in Toronto. And I'm in there smoking reefer and carrying on, and no idea that there's, however. But one of my favorite jobs of all time, I drove a truck. That's how I made my living. When it came to jobs, I took what they were given. And I rode that road they call the 401. From Detroit City to Montreal, man, you could say that I've seen it all. And back to Hogtown when my run was done. Yeah, I'd kick the tires and light the fires and check to see if the tag expired and be on my way before the rising sun. In the early hours, the road was mine, and I was empty. I'd make good time, and I'd fly just like a bullet from a gun. Here we go. London for the morning rush, I'd get caught in a commuter crush. Things would get a little hairy for a while. Going up a hill felt like backing up. I'd barely make it to the top, and then I'd just let it roll back down the grade. The slowpoke would be the nuisance, and I'd call them out by their license, and I'd let them know what was on my mind. I'd sing, Michigan, get off the road, I gotta make my time and fetch my load, and don't you know this road is all mine. Come on, George. Story when I had a load, I just inched my way on down the road, and you know, my nerves would get just a little bit frayed. Going up a hill felt like backing up, and I'd barely make it to the top, and then I'd just let it roll back down the grade. That passing lane had better be mine. I'm gonna let that diesel engine unwind and keep the hammer down all the way. And I'd sing, oh Lord, give me a tailwind. Keep the big wheels rolling. Help me get this poor boy home on time. I sing, oh Lord, give me a tailwind. Keep the big wheels rolling. Help me get this poor boy home on time. Come on, George. How about George Jackson on the guitar, ladies and gentlemen? And thank you for dancing. Band always plays better when people are dancing. Well, I'd like to thank, one more time, let's thank the Huntsville Festival of the Arts. Dan Watson, thank you so much for putting this shindig on for us all. And thank Hunters Bay Radio for organizing it. And I'd like to thank Chris and John and Jacob for teching this thing and making us look and sound as good as they possibly can. I know, it's like polishing a turd, right? But, you know, you're going to do so much, right? Hey, speak for yourself, says Trish. And we got Trisha Foster on the bass guitar, ladies and gentlemen. We got Sean Roper on the drums. And we got George Axon on the guitar and dobro. My name is Mike Phillips. I am your Mighty Lopez for the evening. Now, here's another song that Sean and I co-wrote. And we briefly were engaged in writing a musical about the maple syrup, the history of and the culture of maple syrup. And it was really going to be an interesting show. We took it right from its sort of Aboriginal roots and through the first contact with Europeans up into the modern maple syrup market. And anyway, we pulled the plug on it. We couldn't find anyone to buy it, but we ended up with a couple cool tunes out of it. And this being a truck driver song, I figured it was natural for me to do it. We think when we are ingesting maple syrup, unless it actually says it's local, most of it comes from Quebec. You realize most of the maple syrup, we can't produce enough maple syrup around here to satisfy our demands. So most of our maple... Oh, Neil... Them's fighting words for Neil. But most of it does come from Quebec. And so there's a cast of characters who load themselves up with big barrels of maple syrup and drive it down into Ontario, and that's what this here is a song about. Well, that's a Rick MacGyver, the syrup driver, driving syrup like no other. He's a double clutch and diesel driving syrup, hauling son of a gun. He's sucking on that maple candy, that sugar buzz will come in handy. He'll get her there before the rising sun. That's old Rick MacGyver, the syrup driver. When it comes to syrup, he's your guy. He's been driving trucks since trucks been drove. He never stops to take a rest. He's on that old red-eye express. He makes the syrup run through Ontario. From the syrup stockpiles in Quebec, where they run it just like it's OPEC. Keep the prices up and the competition down. 'Cause on the black market, I've been told it's worth 10 times the price of crude oil, and it's the only legal game in town. Well, that's all the Rick MacGyver, the syrup driver, driving syrup like no other. He's a double clutch of diesel driving syrup, hauling son of a gun. He's sucking on that maple candy, that sugar buzz will come in handy. Get her there before the rising sun. Himself and never been robbed. After all, that is the job. He won't stop till it gets delivered. Yeah, if it's got a full tank and no cops, he can make it without any stops, no matter how often he may be detoured. Well, he's never seen them masked marauders, but he's heard tell of the barrel rollers and wouldn't be the first maple syrup heist. 'Cause on the black market, I've been told it's worth 10 times the price of crude oil, and it's the only legal game in town. Well, that's old Rick MacGyver, the syrup driver, driving syrup like no other. He's a double clutch of diesel driving syrup, hauling son of a gun. He's sucking on that maple candy, that sugar buzz will come in handy. He'll get her there before the rising sun. He'll get her there before the rising sun. Thank you very much. How are we doing for time? We close? Well, we have one more song in our scheduled program here. If we need to, we may have to play some other stuff just to keep it going. The next song, it's called Lying to Myself. I don't know, I woke up one day and I felt like Smokey Robertson, you know? So I wrote a Motown song. 2, 3, 4. so good to me, like an angel sent from above. And you've been so true to me, I have never doubted your love. And I am just a fool for taking you for granted. And I have no excuse for being so distracted. Darling, I am sorry if I ever made you cry, if I act a playboy when some pretty girl goes by. But I've been lying to myself, I could never make it without you. Darling, I love you, I'm not no one else, the only one that I'll bow to, make a vow to. Forgive and give me one more chance to be the man you deserve and rescue our romance. I've been lying to myself, I could never make it without you. Now that I've found you, it's you and no one else. You're the only one that I'll bow to, make a vow to. I've been lying to myself, there is no one above you. Darling, I love you, it's you and no one else. You're the only one that I'll bow to, make a vow to. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a pleasure. Thank you for dancing again. And yeah, have a good night. See you later. I'm just waiting for the walls to cave in. Sounds stupid, but they're doing it again. I should be standing with my finger on a trigger. Feels like I'm standing in the middle as a figure of me. I'm just waiting for the walls to cave in. Sounds stupid, but they're doing it again. I should be standing with my finger on a trigger. Feels like I'm standing in the middle as a figure, yeah. Middle as a figure, yeah. Middle as a figure, yeah.